Well, hello and welcome to today's video. I am in Martinsburg, West Virginia, unloading another load of pallets that we picked up in Monrovia, Maryland, and at the Costco. And delivered here, and we're a considerable amount of time ahead of schedule, and they're almost done unloading the trailer, which is great, and we're only just a few miles from our drop lot. So this is a relatively easy day, and we'll be wrapping it up here, taking the truck back, taking Revenge back to her spot, and tucking her in for the night. The truck needs to have a forced regen done on it, and didn't really have the time to do that here. Started one actually and had to interrupt it to move the truck and put it in the dock door, so figured I'd just wait until I get back to the yard. I'm not going to do it tonight, but I think I'll go out to the truck tomorrow and do a forced regen, so I might make a video of that, maybe. It's not that difficult a process, as long as the truck's in the mood to cooperate. Sometimes she is, sometimes she's not. So, but as long as she's working the way she's supposed to, it's not a real complicated process. The big thing is your temperature has to be up. You got to let it start up and run and get the temperature up, and then once the temperature is up, if I remember correctly, and don't hold me to this exact sequence, but you need to cycle the truck into gear, out of gear, release the parking brake, set the parking brake, so push the yellow knob in, pull the yellow knob out, push the clutch in, let the clutch out, hit the regen button, and hold it for, I think it's 5 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Right about that time, the little regen symbol should come on the dash and the RPM should start increasing, and you let go of the button, and then it will do what it needs to do on its own. I think it's a good idea to open the hood because it generates a crap load of heat. So I open the hood up and let it do it that way. And some trucks, if you're running them hard enough, hauling heavy loads and pushing them all the time, they'll do a regen when it's on the road running. This truck has ever only done that twice, I think, since I've owned it. For some reason, it doesn't like to do it on its own, so it'll every once in a while it'll give me a flashing yellow death light, and when that comes on, that's what it's wanting. It's wanting you to do at least this truck is telling it needs to do a regen. And if you don't do that within a reasonable period of time, it will start derating the truck until you do it. So, definitely going to get that done here before I take it out on another trip. So, haven't had much time to take the mountain bike out, do anything with that. It's something else I hope to get a chance to do this weekend. We've had some family matters and other things going on. And, of course, the 4th of July holiday, and all that takes up a lot of time, but hopefully this upcoming weekend I'll at least get to ride the bike, maybe be able to go throw the kayak in a lake and paddle around for a while too. And still working on training manuals and courses. Complete training manuals in each of the core areas that I teach courses on. Obviously trucking business success, build your own business empire, which is essentially entrepreneurship, small business management, leadership type things. Success-driven systems, which is productivity, planning, how to plan your day out, how to keep track of projects and tasks and goals, and how to assess those things at the end of each day, and to look at what you got to do at the beginning of each day. And it's a system of basically productivity and being able to better manage the utilization of time throughout the day. And that's something I put together over decades, and it served me very well. Started doing that in the military, continued doing it in real estate, and then continued on for the past 3 decades or so in trucking. So it's a very well-defined system, and it's something that can help you out quite a bit. So there'll definitely be training manuals coming out on all 3 of those things in the very near future, and hoping to get a corresponding course. The courses are designed to work in conjunction with or stand alone. That's how online courses The training manual, same way. They're designed to be a standalone training manual, which you can do it by itself and nothing else, or you can do it in conjunction with a course. And I'm going to begin doing some live training, face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball, in my office on a very limited basis in a not too distant future for anybody who wants to do that. That's particularly of interest, I think, to people for now that are interested in starting a trucking business or becoming a owner-operator. Any kind of owner-operator, but particularly if they're going to get their own authority and become an independent owner-operator. Both versions of the class, one day will be how to actually get all that stuff set up, how to get your authority, get all the other things in place that are necessary in order to get the authority and keep the authority, and the basic fundamental introduction to business management aspects. The second day will cover primarily risk management, DOT compliance, into the nitty-gritty detail, and additional business management things that need to be understood and done, as well as an introduction to finding, negotiating freight rates, booking rates, and getting paid. So it'd be a two-day on-site workshop. Get a training manual, get a current copy of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. You get included online access to a corresponding online course that goes along with that. As I said, the course could be bought as a standalone course or in conjunction with this. But as part of this course, you get a sheet that gives you an access, and it gives you a code that'll get you in that course for a year from the date of completion of your training. You get a training certificate for completion. You get 90 days of direct consulting, coaching with me if you're interested in that. It means if you have a question or you run into something that you can't find or you don't remember, whatever it is, you can send me a text or you can send me an email, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. And probably by text, if it's something that's particularly complicated and we can't just explain it with a text or two or an email, if it's going to be a little bit more involved explanation, and I'll give you a phone call, or we can do a Zoom or a Skype or something like that to cover that. But when I put these things together, I try to create training programs and specialized information products that I wish I had when I was starting out doing all these things. Didn't exist, and still to a large extent, even though there is more training and there are things available from other providers, but there's nothing to the level of what I'm in the process of creating. So that's all coming up. And other than that, gonna keep working on trying to get some videos up. We got a GoPro Hero black camera, and got to figure out how to operate that thing, and then I'll start trying to mount it in here and do some more videos when we're running loads, and start trying to upload videos on a more consistent basis, and try to make videos that are a little bit longer and cover a little bit more driving and some of the actual stuff we're doing, maybe even some backing and that kind of stuff as well. On the other channel, on Trucking Business Success itself, on that channel, I'm starting to do videos on more of the technical stuff, the tutorial or training related things, particularly related to the business aspects of it for now, like covering and explaining each one of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety regulations pertaining to hours of service. That's section 395. Most people are concerned about is the 11, 14, and the 70, and everything that goes along with it. And there's some other exceptions, exemptions, and different things. So we're talking about each of the hours of service regulations for now. Once we get through section 395, then we'll start covering something else. We're going to cover all aspects of trucking business, risk management, DOT compliance, safety. A lot of people confuse safety with compliance. Not the same thing. A lot of people confuse risk management with safety. It's not the same thing. Risk management includes and encompasses all that stuff. Safety and regulatory compliance and more. So we'll be covering all those aspects. So anybody that's seriously interested in a trucking business and in owning or managing your own trucking business, as an owner-operator, fleet owner, freight broker, or some other entity. Definitely want to go and check out Trucking Business Success, subscribe to that channel, and we have a separate Facebook group. Go ahead and join the Facebook group. It's about, I think, 1,500 people, somewhere in thereabouts. It's headed toward 2,000 people in that group, and growing. And a lot of those members are people who have taken my online courses on Udemy. Others are people that have just found it on Facebook, or found it in a blog post, or found it through some other source, and have come and joined us, there as well. So you have an invitation. You're certainly welcome to do the same thing. And that's a good place to be able to easily communicate with me as well. Need some more water. A little bit hot. Anyway, that'll about do it for today. Have a great evening. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon in the next video.